everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is about something that I have been thinking about a lot. I try so many different products and so many of them are retinols, over-the-counter retinols, retinals. And you see, when you look at these products on their website, you see a lot of marketing claims where brands tell you so many things about how much time these products will take to show results on your face. But in reality, in real life, how long does it really take for retinoids to work? Because let's be honest, all these brands, they claim something different. Some say visible results in 2 weeks, some say clinically proven in 4 weeks. But if you have actually used retinoids, you would know it doesn't quite happen that fast. I've been using over-the-counter retinoids for about 4 years now, and I recently turned 40. As I'm getting older, I do see new fine lines forming and some of the older ones becoming more prominent too. But because I have been consistent, they are definitely less prominent than they would have been if I hadn't used retinoids at all. So in this video, I want to break down what science actually says, how long retinoids really take to show visible results, using real clinical studies on both over-the-counter retinols and the prescription strength ones like Tretinoin. And by the end, you will know a realistic timeline you can actually use as your reference. The next time a brand promises magic in 14 days. So let's start with what most people see first. The marketing claim, results in 2 weeks, but that's often referring to subjective perception. Here I want to play this clip where Dr. Leah Ramachandra, who is a double doctorate, a skincare scientist and a formulator herself, mentioned about these marketing claims.
As you know, there are a lot of marketing claims that going around. We all use all these claims. And I think the first thing is to understand that it's not like a medical claim. So for medicine development, you know, when you develop, I don't know, a Tylenol or whatever, you do have to have large thousands of people studies, you know, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, etc. In the skincare world, I think we all moved from make it in your kitchen sink to clinically tested. So first, to start with, you always have to do a safety testing and stability testing, right? You can't launch a product without that. I mean, you can, but that's not the right way to launch. And that's quite simple. Like that, they use on 50 individuals, 50 subjects, they call it, and they just put it on their skin and they see if there's irritation or not. It's as simple as that. It's quite subjective. I mean, there is a clinician who is looking at it, but it's still quite subjective. The stability testing is not subjective. You basically look, is there anything growing? Is there a mold? Is it stable for so many months and in different temperatures? When you say clinically tested, or they say dermatologist approved or dermatologist tested, that claim means nothing. It basically means like dermatologist looked at it and approved it, like, okay, it looks great, you know, sometimes not. So it's so vague and it's not regulated by FDA at all. To do a clinical trial, there are different clinical trials. So you can do a perception trial. And again, you don't need many people. You can just have 50 people, which is such a small number. You give them a cream. Usually they do it at home. They make pictures and subjectively, they tell you at the end of a week or 2 weeks, yes, my face improved in hydration. Then say they tested on 50 people and 48 said my face looks better, it's more hydrated. So they will say 99% of people saw a significant improvement in their skin texture.
Yeah, so they actually map and they show the pore size have shrunken, because a lot of times when they say less 13% of pore size, it may be not visible to our naked eye day to day, but maybe it's visible through the scan, through the analysis.
So there are different tests. So one is the perception study, right? So that's perception where people. Then there's a study where you can use, and there's like a few different machines, depending how much you want to pay. You know, it can be one machine or it can be a machine that goes super deep, right? And that machine is indeed looking, but again, it's on the surface of your skin, how hydrated your skin is, or what your pore size, but your pore size doesn't even say anything. Today, now it's this, 5 days later, it will be a different pore size, you know? But they look at the hydration. But when you look at the most of the skincare products on the market, and we'd say good skincare products, sometimes the clinical trials are, of course, very good because it gives you at least some trust in the product that they've tested in various different ways. But it doesn't give you necessarily any data or any reassurance that it will truly be anti-aging, and that in a year while you're using this product, your skin will reverse the aging for 5 years. That is, and to be honest, I mean, as much as I like skincare, it is great, it's supportive. There's no skincare that truly fully reverse aging. You have to do all kinds of procedures, right?
So you see these marketing claims that you see on their website, they're often referring to a subjective perception. Things like my skin feels smoother and not actual collagen remodeling or wrinkle reduction. Don't get me wrong, retinoids are powerful, but they are not instant. They work by increasing cell turnover and boosting collagen. And what studies show us, both of these things, collagen boosting and cell renewal, takes time at biological level. So when brands say in 2 weeks, that's not totally false, but it's not giving the full picture either. At this point, let's look at some of the studies, what they say. A 2007 clinical study published in the Archives of Dermatology included 36 elderly subjects who used a 0.4% retinol lotion, applied up to 3 times a week for 24 weeks. By the end of the study, researchers observed a statistically significant improvement in fine lines and collagen synthesis with minimal irritation. So yes, low-strength retinol also works, but it took 6 months of time of consistent use. Another study published in Skin Pharmacology and Physiology compared 0.3% and 0.5% retinol formulation. Visible improvements were recorded at 8 to 12 weeks, that's roughly 2 to 3 months in both the groups, though higher concentration worked faster. Another study, a 2010 review in Clinical Interventions in Aging, summarized several retinoid trials and noted that most visible wrinkle and texture improvements with cosmetic retinol appeared around 12 weeks of consistent use. So if you're using retinol, expecting major dramatic results in under a month is unrealistic. You're more likely to see early changes like smoother texture or less dullness first and fine line reduction at 3 months mark. Now let's talk about the stronger stuff, Tretinoin and other prescription retinoids. A 2022 systematic review published in Clinical, Cosmetic and Investigational Dermatology analyzed multiple Tretinoin studies and found that noticeable improvements in photoaging and fine lines generally appear after 12 to 24 weeks, depending on concentration and skin tolerance. Another earlier study showed that 0.1% tretinoin gel led to visible improvement in photo age after 4 months, with continued improvement over the next 6 months. So again, even with prescription strength formulations, the big changes don't show up even in a few weeks. The only thing that happens early is a skin cell turnover. And that's what often causes the purging phase or mild irritation people mistake as it's working. However, for acne, retinoids work a little differently. Most dermatology studies, including one reviewed in the Journal of Drugs in Dermatology, show that acne lesions begin to reduce significantly after 6 to 12 weeks of consistent use. But for anti-aging benefits like texture, fine lines, collagen rebuilding, you're still looking at a timeline of 3 to 6 months. So the kind of result you're looking for determines how soon you will see it. So what this means for you, for us. When I put all these studies together, here is what the timeline really looks like. Week 1 to 4, your skin is still adjusting. You might notice a smoother texture or mild flaking. Week 4 to 8, cell turnover increases, early texture and tone improvements begin. Weeks 8 to 12, for many retinol users, this is when subtle but real results appear. Then from month 3 to month 6, noticeable reduction in fine lines, improved firmness and visible evenness. And beyond 6 months, ongoing collagen stimulation and long-term changes. So even though marketing often sells fast results, our skin biology doesn't seem to work like that. It's a steady progress, not an instant gratification. So from my own experience using retinol, retinal for over the years, using everything from over-the-counter retinol, moving on to hybrid formulations, stepping up to retinal, I can tell you the studies match real life. If you stay consistent for at least 12 weeks, you will notice visible results. But if you give up in just 3 weeks, thinking nothing is happening, you will never reach that stage. So the bottom line is retinoid work, but they don't just work overnight. Give your skin time, and as the studies say, it will give you results. I hope you found this video helpful. If you do, like it and subscribe to my channel. And that's all for today's video. I'll see you all in my next video. Until then, stay tuned, stay beautiful.